Darkstar Hel is an incredible AoE DPS but needs her signature Functor to be effective. Preferably, you want to have S Hel so you have higher transcendence levels for her Functor. Now, let's take a look at her skills. Her basic attack generates 14 Divine Grace in a 4-part combo and you gain 30 Divine Grace when you perfect dodge. Her skill 1 does a little bit of AoE DPS, but what we really care about is the 10 Divine Grace generated on the first hit. So you can just dodge cancel the animation after the first hit. Similarly, for her second skill, you can dodge cancel the animation after the damage is done. The reason we only care about Divine Grace generation from these two skills is because her third skill is the main DPS skill of her kit. When you use her third skill, she enters a turret mode where she takes 20% less damage and is immune to CC. Each shot from the turret consumes Divine Grace and this amount is reduced if you have her signature Functor. You also lose 1 Divine Grace for every 1% of max HP lost, and when you run out of Divine Grace, you'll exit out of the mode. Now, you can't move, cast skills or ult when you're in turret mode, so you can just press dodge to exit the mode whenever you want to ultimate. Her ultimate does huge AoE damage and buffs the team's dark damage by 30%, so you should use it before entering the turret mode. It also gets recharged by 15% every time anyone triggers perfect dodge, so she has great synergy with S Hel with her signature Functor. Your typical DPS rotation would be to use your skill 2, dodge to cancel the animation, use your skill 1, dodge to cancel the animation, then perfect dodge and attack from the enemy if possible, try to squeeze it in, and ultimate now if available, and then use your skill 3 and enter the turret mode to blast away. Now let's talk about her Aether Codes. For bossing, you can go for 2 yellow and 1 red, since it will give you passive Divine Grace regen and increase the damage of your second skill by a lot. This is very good for Recurring Dream. For mobbing, you can switch to 2 yellow and 1 blue, since it gives a huge damage buff against mobs. This is good for higher difficulties of Hazard Zone. I highly recommend pulling for her signature Functor. It's vital to her kit because reducing Divine Grace cost and increasing its damage by 32% is a very big buff for her kit. For Sigils, you want to go for Eliadnir and Philosopher's Fantasies in these positions. You can also use Charon's Ogle, a new sigil that will be introduced in the Hades patch soon, instead of Philosopher's Fantasies for more DPS if you have highly invested in her, like having S Hel and her signature Functor. For Sigil enchants, you should go for 8 Fierce Assault first, then 8 Berserk, then 8 Enraged, but it's fine to stop at 1 Enrage for 881. Remember to use your Reconstructors to change the faction of all sigils to Yggdrasil. For team building, I recommend building your team around the S Hel and S Hera synergy. You can use the S Okuninushi and A Hoder ult combo to reset her skill 3 as a viable team as well, but S Hera is a really great support for her. Your third character can be a flex for the stage you're facing. You can go for a Zenkibo for the ult combo, or get another Yggdrasil character like A Hoder for the faction buff. However, another way to think about it is to see what the stage needs. If you need mobbing, you can put an AoE DPS like S Poseidon, who also freezes, so it's very helpful for her. If you need single target DPS, you can use S Tsukuyomi or S Kunino Kotachi with Windship. Ultimately, it depends on your roster and the enemies you're fighting. And that's all for this guide. Thanks to Daki and Gosu for making a Hel guide from their experience on the CN server. You can ask them any questions you have on the Kozima Discord, which I've linked in the description. I hope you found this video useful and have a nice day.